So in that last question, we had our first example of what might be called a compound condition. What does compound condition mean? Well, the ball has two instances where it reverses its horizontal velocity. Okay? One instance is over here. So the ball's going this direction, and the only way it can hit this wall is if some component of the ball is going this direction, okay? And if it hits this wall, it flips and is going this direction the very next frame, right? And then the other condition is where the ball is here, right? And if it hits this point, it flips, so it's coming back, and it flips, and it's going the other direction, okay? So you can think that if the ball is in this state, or if the ball is in this state, we need to flip. Okay, so OR is our first compound condition, and that's how we do OR. So you've seen that before, and all it means is if one side is true or the other side is true, the whole thing evaluates to true. Okay, so true, false, false, true, it doesn't matter. The whole thing will evaluate to true. In fact, in this case, these both can't be true at the same time, right? Either the ball is over here, in which case it's not over here, or it's over here, in which case it's not over there. All right? But in either case, we're going to flip the velocity. Okay? And so the following is going to walk you through how you do that. But there's another thing I want to point out, and that is we're going to make a more general ball, okay? And what do I mean by a more general ball? Well, we're not going to assume the ball can only go right and left. We'll initially program it to just go right and left. But a general ball is a ball which has a center X and center Y. Okay. It has a width and I was about to say width X and a height. Okay. And it has an X velocity, a velocity X. Why don't I just spell it out? I like spelling it out. Velocity X and a velocity Y. Remember, plus Y is down, plus X is this way. Okay? So that's a general ball. Okay? Notice that 3, 4, 5, 6. For this general ball, we take 6 hints, okay? And I'm motivating something here, and we'll get to that at the very end of this lesson. So, we've got 6 integers, all right, to describe one ball. Yes, that's annoying. We'll get there, okay? So, now, what's happening when we move to the right? Well, center X is changing by velocity X, right? So center X updates by velocity X each frame. And our velocity is pixels per frame. That's what our velocity is, right? It's how much we move every frame, how many pixels we jump. Okay, so if you want to think of like what is the actual velocity, that's what it is. It's pixels per frame, and frames is 60 frames a second, right? So your per frame means it's 1/60 of a second, or how many pixels I move in 1/60th of a second. Okay. All right. So that happens. All right. Velocity Y. Well, that is 0. Okay. But center Y also updates by velocity Y if we're doing it in general. notice that if you say center y plus velocity y, okay, if you say center y plus velocity y, or center y equals center y plus velocity y is 0, it's not going in the vertical direction. All right. All right, what else do we have? Well, we can keep the width constant. So the width gets set at the beginning. We never touch it again. All right, we can keep the height constant for right now. So the height gets set at the beginning and we never touch it again. And actually, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say height ellipse. I'm doing the thing that's gonna confuse people. And width ellipse, all right? Not to be confused with the height and width variables processing gives us, okay? Width and height, okay? So these are of the ellipse, okay? So we'll set these at the beginning, okay? But since they're variables, we can always vary them if we want to, right? If we want to suddenly make this thing move diagonally, since we have y figured out down here, we can, okay? So there are going to be two different things where this thing flips, okay? One of them is going to be in the x direction. We'll program that first. And one of them is going to be in the y direction. And we'll figure that out next, okay? The x direction says that, you know, so center's updating by velocity x, right? And if we get over here, or if we get over here, we're going to flip our directions, okay? So if we're over here, or if we're over there, we're going to flip our directions. I think you have enough. So there's a program that you need to fill in. And I think you have enough to fill it in based on this. But if you're having issues, come back to this video or give me a text and I'll jump on the Zooms or something like that. All right. See you next video.